Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here, and welcome to the penultimate episode of Time Agent Series 3's vlogs. Today it is First Contact. No it's not, that's episode 2. I'm an idiot. It's Sins of the Past. Sorry, episode 5, Sins of the Past. Now this episode goes back a little bit to show some of the events that led up to Liam, Mortis and Tobias heading back to 21st Century Earth, but it also shows the last day before Judgment Day, the penultimate day of this, events, where we see Liam has been captured and is being tortured and converted, and Robin's team is being attacked. So let's do this in. Let's talk about the backstory, the time agency. So Liam and Tobias decide, after they can't get the evidence, it's too heavily guarded, they decide that to go back in time, and Tobias heads off, but he is captured, presumably by Mortis. That's who I think it was. I'm not sure. Can't really tell very well. So Tobias is arrested and put on trial. He is about to be executed when Liam rescues him from the evil judge/dictator, probably a second in command to the executive. But then the judge says that he knew about the plan all along and orders Mortis to execute them. But Mortis does not, because it's being kept off the record. But the judge insists and threatens them. But then Mortis reveals that he was in league with them all along. He was the 5th member of the Rising Five, because they knew about Obadiah and Katrina. Well, Katrina certainly. But they also mention Obadiah. Well, not Judge. Liam does, so I'm sure the judge would have been aware about it. So then Tobias escapes, thanks to Liam giving him a vortex manipulator, and there, apart from the bits between there and him waking up in the hospital, we kind of missed a little bit for him, but not as much as Liam and Mortis, so yeah, we get to see Tobias' backstory, and it's great to see John Granston really getting into the character more so than he did in episode 1. And yeah, it's really, really great, and he does a great job. Again, it's a shame we don't get to see much more of him or any of the other Rising Five members prior to these events. It would have been great. I think you could do an entire series, maybe a film on it. Then we see Liam and Mortis escaping, and they're being attacked by a drone at one point. Mortis destroys one, but, hits one. But another one, or the same one if recovered, comes back and attacks them. Both are fine, but Liam escapes in the TARDIS. If you listen closely, you'll hear a bit of the TARDIS. So this is probably the point where Liam abandons Mortis. However, we haven't got to the bit where Katrina betrays Liam, and Mortis finds this a bad thing because he's angry with her for what she did in Best Kept Secret. Not what she did there, and what she did beforehand. And also Mortis doesn't hate Liam at this point, so there's obviously something else that happens after this, that then Katrina betrays them or tries to kill them or something. She definitely tries to kill Liam at one point. Something happens between here and Liam, Mortis and Katrina going back in time, because neither Mortis nor Katrina hate Liam as much as they do in series 1 and 2. And Mortis obviously finds Katrina's acts bad, and then eventually Mortis gets put into the code. Maybe they were somehow, maybe Katrina said if the day was spared that they would bring Liam in, and Mortis was horrified but went along with it anyway, and Liam promised to get him away from it when he told him, and then Katrina tried to kill them, and then I don't know, she was sent back in time by accident or something, and then they tried to run away again, but Liam left Mortis, maybe by accident, and he was captured and put into the code for his betrayal. And then Liam escapes, but somehow loses his memory, similar to Tobias. That's what I think might have happened. In reality, Mortis goes, or what happened beforehand, Mortis goes and meets with Katrina, and they send Elizabeth back in time because the Time Agency have entered their jurisdiction. And whilst I don't think Katrina's dad may want to see her again, as she says, I don't think he would want to see her dead. Time Agency, this guy is giving you permission to come in and capture, not kill. If you killed him, I think he would probably declare war on you. Then again, the executive might actually like that. He might even be able to wipe out the Federation. Ooh, he's an evil bastard, isn't he? speak of the executive, we now come to the point, because once Elizabeth is sent away, that's when the flashback scenes end. So we're now moving on to present day. Now, present day, we'll start with Mortis quickly, because he has literally nothing to do in the present day. Most of his stuff is in the flashbacks. Okay, in the present day, he wakes up, Scarlet comes back, gives him a drink, he doesn't like it, they have a chat. We later cut to the... later we see them at the end, and they run out under the bridge, and they see the giant flower alien. That's it for Mortis in the present day. Right, let's go to Robin and company, because we'll quickly talk about them. They have a bit more to do. Now, remember I said about Zoe yesterday in the last episode being a bit quiet? Well, she is a little bit in this one, but then she raises her voice when she's being a bit sarcastic and showing off to Alec, who doesn't have a clue how to read a map. And then has a great... I think the actress has a great performance. It's a shame neither she nor the actress for Scarlet get credited for this episode for some reason. They do for the last one, and actress for Scarlet in the next one. But, I don't know. I really like Zoe. I wish she was in more than 2 episodes. 3 if you add her as a spoiler alert for the next one. Flower Alien. I certainly would have liked to see more of her than Scarlet Brooke, especially in the last one. It's a big shame. I thought she would have been a great character. Maybe another worthy member of the Time Agency. Like she was in Cardiff, but oh well. I guess you need something for Robin to cry over again in the next episode. Need some sacrifice, and sure ain't not going to be Liam. But then they're attacked by the flower aliens, and they have to run away. Zoe is kidnapped, and Robin and Alec reach the edge of the city. And this is at a point where Alec abandons Robin, because he's not in the next episode. So I'm guessing he just abandoned Robin and left him to go in alone. And now we come to the executive and Liam scenes. Now, these scenes are brilliant. They're not as good as the flashback scenes, but it gives Christopher Thompson and Billy Tracy enough to work with. They have brilliant performances. Liam is kind of angry, annoyed. The executive's just his megalomaniac evilness. He's just so brilliant to watch. Christopher Thompson easily is the best actor for Time Agents, and Billy Tracy is certainly giving one of his best performances in the series so far, if not the best, or maybe in the next episode, but certainly one of the best. And the scenes are brilliant. There's a lot of talking and there's a lot of movement, and they're in not just one location, one area of the location, but it looks great. And the flower alien that was originally Tobias eventually kills the executive, but it's revealed that the executive is not dead, and he goes to worship the great mini beast that Liam managed to release upon conversion. And I didn't mention this, in episode 2 we saw a newspaper clip of the executive being elected the executive in 1956. So he's been around for nearly 60 years? 55? It's nearly 60 years as the executive, and so and the explanation's in the next episode, but we get a glance of that in this one. It's him not being able to die. I'll quickly wrap up by saying, so we've got some great acting in this. I think the weakest one is Emma Crichton as Katrina Mills, because Laura Dakin wasn't available for filming. They only were able to get Emma Crichton. They got her in to play Katrina for this episode. It's probably why they didn't have Katrina in episode 3 or any other episode apart from the flashbacks to Best Kept Secret in the second episode. But that being said, that they had a replacement. They could easily slot a moment or two in when she's spying on the Time Agency or something. Then again, I don't think Emma Crichton's the greatest actress in the series. For some reason, they don't seem to be able to be having great female cast members in this series, apart from the one who plays Zoe. As for characters, Katrina, Evil Katrina is a fantastic character. Not Evil Katrina, I think, with more backstory, needs a bit more work. And like I said, Zoe's a great one. I think, whilst the performance for Scarlett's getting better, the character isn't as good. I think it's starting to get to that halfway point. Yeah, I think Emma Crichton's probably the weakest actress in the series. And probably overall after Luke Pond from the musical. Ow. It's this penultimate episode of the series. And this is our second weakest performance. Ouch. And that's that's including Series 1, which probably had the weakest performances from the regular cast. Ooh. However, I will say if they were able to expand on the character, I think we could have been able to... I think if the character would be even better if we could see a bit more of it. And even more better would have been what would happen next, as I said what I thought would have happened next. Again, we don't get to see much of Obadiah. He's gone. He's already gone. We don't really get to see much of the Rising Five full stop, apart from in this series. Again, another idea for a future series could have been a prequel series, or a prequel film or two, or specials. In the end, we just have this and a few other bits. One quick before I go, I've not mentioned this yet. I only just remembered. The effects, the visual effects are phenomenal in this series. They're fantastic. They've been great for the past few years. At least since Fallen Hero, but this series is just fantastic. So beautiful, especially the time agents in the future. The only only weak point of this visual effects is probably the giant flower, which looks more like it was on front of a green screen, which it probably was, and it just didn't work so well. But it's probably that's probably the only minor gripe for that, and one of the few for the next episode. But one that would be added onto this one as well as the next episode's one. But yeah, the visual effects are fan-freaking-tastic. Fantastic. They're lovely. That's fantastic. And I would have liked to have seen more of this in Series 4. There was a VFX... one of the 4 clips they released from the second episode was a VFX test for the villain. And it looks great as well. It looks brilliant. So, yeah. Just thought I'd mention that quickly. So, I guess it's good enough. And that's it for Sins of the Past. It's a great episode. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Again, there's some... what's stopping it from being a 10 is that we could have had more of the flashback scenes set in the time at sea, as I said. The better actress, for Katrina, nothing can help Laura Lakin being unavailable if she's unavailable, but surely you can get a better actress. Cast a better one. No offence to Emma Crichton, she did the best she could. That just wasn't so good. That's all. Not in my opinion, I just didn't really like it that well. They could have had Mortis doing stuff in present day Earth, along with Scarlett. Again, improve their Scarlett's character. Explain what happens to... Actually, no. I was going to say explain what happened to Alex, but that's more for the next episode. Maybe have the executive do more moving around in the shed. I know Liam can't do it. Maybe the executive can do some other stuff elsewhere, maybe twist a few wires at the other end of the room, shouting from across the hall, across the room. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The perfect scenes were pretty much the flashback and the Robin attack scenes. Oh yeah, the judge was a pretty good one, although the editing, I'm not sure if this was intentional, but the editing was pretty weak when portraying or executing the judge. But he was a pretty menacing villain. He's a pretty good villain. Again, if we saw more of the present day stuff, we could have seen more of him, or future executive, how they were. But in the end, it's all good. It's all good, but there's some minor gripes that holds this one down a little bit. That's why it's a 9, not a 10. Okay, tomorrow, join me for the last Time Agent Series 3 vlog and the last episodic Time Agent vlog, Judgment Day, the 6th and final episode of Series 3. I'll see you guys next time.